good horse too. And so Laura's been working on that with the Thoroughbred Barrel Racing Association. Having Lance on board is kind of a big deal, so I'm going to turn it over to them and see if they have something to say.
First of all, I want to thank Lynn. Hopefully next year we'll have a barrel race here again. And with the help of Lance Graves, I'm sure that's going to happen, and I'm sure you guys can kind of collaborate on that a lot. And I want to thank Stuart. I was fortunate. Everybody that has to pay for lessons, I got a free lesson today. I learned so much that is so similar barrel racing wise to what we've talked about with the jumping and even with the dressage. And what we're trying to do this year, last year we just had a barrel race and we had some of our dressage riders and some of our jumpers say, well, you guys are crazy. And I saw some crazy stuff going on today, so I'm not sure. I think, you know, come see him, come to Grange Ranch, you can learn how to barrel race very easily with what you did today. But, so we kind of wanted to dispel some of the myths, and I'll let Lance talk about that real quick. But what we're doing this year at the makeover, we've gotten with Stuart, and we're going to do a freestyle before the barrel racing, so that you all can see that barrel racing is more than just getting on, yanking, you know, spurring, whipping. It's so much more than that. And when I called Mr. Graves and I said, LG, would you please be a judge for me at the Thoroughbred Makeover in October at Kentucky Horse Park? And Lance told me no. And I said, what do you mean no? And this is a man that I've known since I was 13 years old. And I won't tell the story again, but I've known since I was 13 years old. And he is phenomenal. He is probably the best trainer I know when it comes to barrel racing. And he is one of the best riders. He is one of the quietest riders I've ever seen barrel race. And so I'm going to turn it over to him. Lance, if you kind of want to tell them a little bit about yourself and what we're going to prove this year.
Thanks, Laura, for that. I'm not sure I can live up to her description of myself and my life, but I appreciate that introduction anyway. The first thing that I want to say is I appreciate the opportunity to get to reach a new crowd of people and to bring the passion and the love that I have for the sport that I have to another breed and to another group of people, just to begin with. You know, it started out a long time ago where there was a, like any stereotype, it begins in fact and it grows from there, and it's up to those of us that are involved in it to change people's perception and to change the event itself. And whatever. And so we've been really fortunate. I've been fortunate since I started as a small child. I started riding when I was 3 and I turned pro by the time I was 7. So when your life goes that way, you get to see a lot of changes from a unique perspective. You know, I remember times when my daddy would buy horses from the cow auction and I'd ride them or try to ride them and try to live through it, and we'd go from there. My first pony cost $5 and we had to take him, and the only place I could go and compete on my pony was a place where we could, there was a place to get him out of the back of my daddy's Toyota pickup because my father built stock racks out of a set of pallets that he had stuff delivered on. So if I couldn't get my pony in my stock racks, then I couldn't go to the show. So you know, when you start from there and now you get the good fortune to ride a $100,000 to $150,000 prospect to try to turn it into a $1 million barrel horse, then you get to see a lot. You know, as things change, as times change, I've been very fortunate to try a lot of different horses, a lot of different pedigrees to try to get them to do what I do, and hopefully the ultimate goal whenever I train a horse is sure we like to win a little bit or to see our name at the top of the page, the results page, but ultimately we want that horse to have a good life, and once he leaves me, I want him to go somewhere and be part of somebody's family and continue to have that good life, and hopefully he'll run until he's in his 20s and you know, some little girl will cry the day that they bury him, because that's what ultimately that we all want with our horses. We want that horse to have that kind of life, you know? So I've been around a long time, and we live in the center, you know, Bell, Texas, a packing plant that's not so far from my ranch, and I've seen a lot of horses that have gone from having a not so successful career as Plan A meant to no career at all. And it's kind of sad to see that from somebody who loves horses and is passionate about that. So the first thing I got involved with after, I've been very fortunate in my career to win a few championships like Mr. Stewart said earlier, but I was asked to be a judge at the Mustang Makeover a couple years ago, and I declined their offer as well, and so I competed in the Mustang Makeover, and I was fortunate to win that barrel racing slot race on the Mustang, and I had people ask me the same question: why would you step off the world champion at QHA barrel horse to come down here and ride a Mustang pony that should have been killed? And I said that's exactly the reason I did it, because it's a Mustang pony that shouldn't have been killed. And she made an amazing horse, and she got to run on TV in front of a packed house the same way that AQHA World Champion horse has done the month previously. So, thank you. So what we find over the years in my experience is that every life has a meaning. And it just because plan A doesn't always go as planned. I'm sure there's a lot of you in this room that maybe grew up thinking you were going to be a doctor or a lawyer, or maybe you're going to cure cancer, and now maybe all you cure is clean up on all nine. But ultimately, life takes its trip. Life takes it, and it's what you make of it. So I've seen a lot of horses in my lifetime, a lot of great thoroughbreds. But several of my world champions were actually half thoroughbreds that were QHA World Champion racehorses, and it was a significant part of their championship. It was thoroughbred influence was. So when Miss Laura called and said, "Hey, last one, so then she started off into what she was doing and what Stuart was doing with the project. She's like, "You think maybe you're going to be a celebrity judge?" And I'm like, "No." And she's like, "Well, I know it's been a long time since I called and said hello, but what the hell?" I said, "I'll tell you what I'll do. This is what I'll do. Maybe I'll consider being a judge one time, and why don't you find a thoroughbred horse and send him to me, and I'll just train him and play with everybody else." Because really, ultimately, are you really going to just want to listen to somebody stand up and talk and act like a hero, or are you going to see him perform? So Laura sent me a horse, and we're going to be ready to go in October, hopefully. And I've got a whole bunch of new and exciting friends. I had an opportunity to go to Rolex. I mean, I'm just a long-haired country boy from Oklahoma, And I got to go to this Rolex event. And I got to see these amazing horses and all these pretty, everything's so classy and elegant and so not from Hartsville, Oklahoma. You know what I mean? And rainy. But let me tell you what the most impressive part of the entire event was. When I came home, Austin said to me, he was at Oklahoma State University in Betsville. He said to me, "So tell me, what was the one thing that you take away from that 3-day event? Besides the rain and messing up your hair." And I said, in all the world that I've traveled, and I've been very fortunate to travel to a lot of places in my lifetime, I have never seen better cared for, better prepared, better fit animals to do an event. I have no knowledge of this event, but I have a little bit of knowledge of equine care and fitness. And in my life, I've never seen horses that impressive, and it wasn't just one. Probably the most impressive display that I saw of the whole thing was a horse that didn't even finish the course. She came running down through the rain, this big Mary, I don't even know the rider's name, but probably makes me the biggest jerk ever in this industry. But anyway, I didn't know the gentleman driving, but she jumped up in the water, and she ran through the water, and she jumped something, and then she went to something else in the water, and she hit herself right in the back of her stomach, because she didn't get over, and she kind of bounced off the side. Kind of unseated her jockey a little bit, and she went off course, and he stopped her. And she was breathing pretty heavy. She's running in the rain, she's in the water. He turns around, makes a circle, she jumps again, goes out, and she goes out, and the rider sits up, and he touches her on the neck, and he gives her about 4 seconds. And at the end of 4 seconds, she took a breath, went right back to her job. The most impressive moment of the entire event. So when Austin asked me what was the most impressive thing, that was, because I know, as a cowboy and as a horseman, how many hours of preparation it took to get that animal to that level of fitness, and then beyond that, I know what kind of horsemanship it takes to inspire that horse to go back to swinging with both fists again. So I feel like that all of us as horse people, it doesn't make a difference what your resume reads, or if you can fill up a book or get on the cover of a magazine. It really doesn't matter any of that. It's what you continue to learn. If you can't continue to learn, you stagnate and you die. And we should all continue to push ourselves and try to be better horse people and try to be better cowboys. And it's our responsibility. If we don't try to take care of these animals, it's taking care of us and bring us so much joy and closure over years. We're going to. I mean, it's all up to us. So no, I won't be judging. And yes, I will. Yes, I will be competing, good, bad, or indifferent, and I have no idea how I'm going to do, but I know I'm going to try hard, and I will promise you my horse will try hard as well, because he's all heart. And I do appreciate everyone. I appreciate it. I know the speeches last a long time, but I'm told sometimes when I get a mic, I get a little too comfortable. But anyway, I appreciate the opportunity, and I appreciate the way that everyone's welcomed, you know, someone like me into this group, and I look forward to continue meeting all of you guys, and I really look forward to the October event. So thank you guys.